All right, so my cousin calls, or she texted me yesterday, and she was like, it's official. Biden has been declared president. Trump can run again in 2024. And I was just like, who is this? And then she's like, it's me. And I was like, okay. So she basically says the same thing again. And then I'm like, who is this? I don't have time to fight with her. I'm like, what is wrong with these fucking people? I'm not going around when Trump won, I didn't vote for him last time, but I mean, I didn't vote for him the first time, but I didn't I didn't want Hillary to win, but I wasn't going around like rubbing stuff in people's faces. I'm more concerned about my aunt who just lost her son a couple years ago, who's really fragile, and I'm always trying to give her information to pump her up because she's just like, you know, it's really hard. You know, everybody in my family, you know, hates Trump and I'm the only one. And, you know, so I'm like, that's where my attention goes, but I'm not trying to like make people feel bad about it. But I swear when this thing gets turned around, she's going to be the first person I call, believe you me. So, but I just want to make this video to say it's still not over, you guys. So just chill out. There's a lot more. There's so much evidence. I'm not even tripping. I was just like, what she said was like, okay, you know. All right. I was just talking the other day to some friends and, you know, talking about letting go of friends, you know, getting off of Facebook and other social media because it's, you know, for them, I've been off. I mean, I go on Facebook and check my messages for a while, but it's just with the shadow banning and stuff. I'm not really that active like I used to be. And plus, I'm just, it's really heartbreaking to see people I know just turn into monsters. They're monsters now. They're like these demon-possessed monsters. Because it's like, you know, I think for them too, we were talking about this connection with God or some higher, knowing that there's a higher being or a higher intellect that you have a connection with, a force, whatever you want to call it, which a lot of the people that are acting this way don't seem to have. They might say that they believe in God, but there's a difference between saying that you believe that there is a God than having a relationship or a connection with God. Because I think no matter what happens, I know that there's something bigger beyond this election. Even though this election has the future of humanity, I believe, riding on it. I was going to say America, but I'm like, no, because if America goes down, then the whole country is going to go with it. And people that are watching us here in America, what's going on, they know this already, okay? People that have experienced communism and escaped to America from other countries, they know this already. But what I'm just trying to say is, you have to get to a point too where you know that no matter what happens, there's a bigger force out there than just politics. Politics is a grain of sand in the whole universe of life. I think, yeah. I mean, like, I was just trying to make a metaphor. I don't know if that quite hit it, but I think you guys know what I mean. It's just a little bit. It's just a little bit. Because even, you know, it's funny because when the first election happened in 2016, I remember I called my best friend up and we both, like, she doesn't vote, okay? And at that time, I had stopped voting, so I didn't vote that year either. I was like, left-right paradigm, it's all a sham, and which I still believe, but and there's other videos I've done where I think this time is different, and there's something different. But for the most part, you can, you know, there are people on both sides that are, you know, I'm still not buying into the whole idea. If you're a Republican, then you're a good person, and if you're not, then you're, you know, you're a bad person. But anyway, I called up my best friend that day, and I was like, oh, today sucks. Like, Hillary's gonna win. It's gonna be sucky. She's gonna be a president. But, you know, I already had in my mind, even if she became president at the time, you know, how are we going to fight the New World Order? How are we going to fight these people? What are we going to do? I still was prepared to go down fighting in some way, you know? So, I mean, these people, they're in charge technically, but they don't rule your life, right? There are even stories of prisoners that you hear that, you know, you can't let them take your happiness away from you. You can't let them control you and tell you how happy you need to be or what you should be worried about. So I'm not like, I don't put my happiness or give them my soul for them to control whether they win or lose. And that's something that you guys should, like, I just did an interview with Davy Crocco, and we were talking about, I don't remember if this was off before we started recording or during the interview, but I was saying, it doesn't matter who's president as far as the vaccine goes. I'm not taking the vaccine. So whether Trump pushes it or doesn't push it, whether Biden's president, whatever, I'm not going to take it. I've already resigned to that. And that's because I have a higher person to answer to, not just the politicians. And I think once people realize that, things get easier for them in a sense. They're not beholden to, who wins or who loses. But with that said, I think that there is so much evidence that this is going to be turned around. I think that we have so many people fighting for this country. We have so many people that are praying for us that, and I knew that they were going to do this. Again, we still have at least another month, maybe more, because, if it's treason and they can prove all this stuff, the certification shit doesn't matter, right? They're pushing the certification shit. They were pushing, they called, the media called him. Technically, the election is still in progress. It's still in progress, right? There's some people that, in the swing states that actually cast their ballots for Trump, but the news media isn't reporting that, right? Why aren't they doing that? Why are they trying to rush this through? Why are they censoring anybody that talks about ejection cloud? ejection cloud. I'm gonna see if they take that algorithms. Could you know what ejection cloud is? Ejection cloud, right? Anybody that's talking about ejection cloud can they get their video taken down. So it's interesting, right, that they're trying to censor people on all of these platforms, on Facebook, on YouTube, that has anything counter to their narrative. You think if they were secure in the fact that they're controlled, that they would have to censor stuff, right? They would have to censor you, right? It's like if you've ever had, it's interesting. Knock on wood, I haven't had any abusive boyfriend relationships, but I've had a lot of abusive female relationships as far as like friendships. And as I've gotten older, I've noticed you're only like, they spread rumors about you and try and sabotage you because you're a threat. They didn't do it to people that weren't a threat to them. So if somebody is like threatened by your looks or by your talent or by your intellect, they're gonna sabotage you. They're gonna do everything they can, but if they're not going to. So they're trying to sabotage all those truthers, all those truth seekers, all those people that want the truth to get out by censoring us, by threatening us, by demonetizing us, by messing with the algorithms, right? They're cheating so hard. Cheaters, you don't have to cheat if you're confident in your game. So just think about that, guys. I just want to say that. I think it's gonna be okay. We still got another, at least, we'll see what happens within the next month by January. It ain't over till it's over. The fat lady has not sung yet. She's just warming up, okay? So she's in the back doing her vocal skill exercises right now. She's gonna come out in about a month or so, and then we'll see, all right? That's it. Please subscribe to my backup channels in the links. All my other channels, follow me. Donations in the links. I'm having a live show tomorrow at 10 a.m. Wednesdays. I forgot to tell you, my last live feed was taken down because I talked about ejection cloud and the Roro jab and all the other stuff that I wasn't supposed to talk about, but I did anyway. So yeah, I will see you guys there if you want to talk about it tomorrow. I love you guys, and I will talk to you soon. Peace, truth, love. Bye-bye.